Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 5, Term 2, Week 2. On page 7, we're going to be dealing with volumes. Okay, so to find the volume, we're going to have to do length times width times height. So let's look at this weird shape here, this composite volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into two shapes. So let's cut it this way. Right. So you're going to have the volume of the top piece, I'm going to call it V1, and the bottom piece V2. So, okay. So the volume 1 is going to be length times width times height. So let me just call this V2 here. Now we know that the length is 1. So from there to there is 1. We're going to multiply that by the width. The width is going to be 2, and the height is going to be, well, we don't know what the height is yet. So I'm going to say 1 times 2 times the height. Now let's find out what the height is. So we know that from here, so from here to here, the whole distance, here to here is 3. And from here to here, this part here, that's going to equal to 1. Because this is 1. That means this is 1, and that must be 1 as well. So if that's 1 and that's 3, then this must be 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. If that's 2, then this has to be 2 as well. So then that means this is 2. So 1 times 2 times 2, and that gives us 4. So the volume of the top piece is 4 inches cubed. Now the bottom piece, V2, is going to equal to 4, the length, times width, which is 2, times the height, which is 1. So 4 times 2 times 1, which equals to 8 inches cubed. The total volume is, we're going to add them up. So the volume, the total volume is equal to 4 plus 8, which is 12. So the answer is 12 inches cubed. Okay, next one. We're going to divide this shape. I'm going to divide it across. Cut this shape across. So I'm going to get V, I'm going to call this V1, and the top and the other side is V2. So what's V1? V1 is equal to, well, we need the length, which is the 6, the width, which is 4, and the height. Now the height of this whole thing is 2. So that's 2, this must be 2, this must be 2. They're all 2. Okay. Right, so V1 is equal to 6 times 4 times 2 equals to, let me see, 8 times 6, which is 6 8 to 48. 48 centimeters cubed. V2 is equal to, what do we have here? We need the length. I'm going to color this in blue. The length, which is this whole length here, that's going to equal to the 14, like that one up there. So it'll be 14 times the width, which is this distance here. That'll be 12. Times the height, which is 2. Okay, so 14 times 12 times 2. So what's 14 times 12? Okay, so this will be 8, 4, magical 0. And then 12, so the answer is 168. This will be 168 times 2, and we get 16, 12, 13, 3. 300, let me just put that in red. It'll be 336 centimeters cubed. And the total volume, so the volume total is equal to 48 plus 36. So let me add these two together. We get 8 plus 6 is 14. This will be 8, 300. This will be 384 centimeters cubed. Okay. Now the last one. The last one, I'm going to divide it down. You can divide it across if you like. I'm going to do it down. So I'm going to call this V1 and this one V2. So V1, what's V1? V1 equals to length, which is, I'm going to call it 1, times by width. What's the width of this thing? From here to here, what's, oops. Okay, what's that distance there? It'll be 3. Because this is 3, that means this must be 3 as well. And the height is given to us is 6. So it'll be 1 times 3 times 6. Get an answer there. V2. V2, let's have a look. V2 is going to be, we need this, I'm going to color it in blue again. I need this distance here. This is the length. Okay, so we know that from here to here all the way is 8, but from here to here is 1. So that means that this distance here, from here to here, is going to be 8 minus 1, which is 7. So the length is going to be 7. So that blue distance is 7. We know the width is also 3 and the height is 1. So it will be 7 times 3 times 1. And you get an answer there. Get that answer, and then we're going to add it to get the total volume. V total, or volume total, equals to what? And the answer will be in inches cubed. Okay, you do that on your own. Go to the next page. Okay. It says Eleanor wants to paint her jewelry box. The jewelry box is in the shape of a cube and has edges of 4 inches. So imagine you have a cube. Okay, and each side of the cube is 4 inches in length. Now it says Eleanor wants to paint this box. So she wants to paint all the outside of the cube. How much paint will she need? So basically, the question is asking us to find the surface area. Now to find the surface area, that's just the area of all the surfaces add together. Now all the surfaces of a cube are the same because all the length is the same. Okay, so to find the surface area of this cube, I'm going to abbreviate that to SA from now on. If I say surface area, that's SA. Okay, so surface area is equal to the area of one face. Area of one face. And then we multiply that by 6 because we have 6 faces in a cube and they're all the same. The area on each face is going to be the same. So what's the area of one face? The area of one face is 4 times 4. And then once you finish with that, you're going to multiply that by 6. Okay. And then you're going to get the surface area and you're going to put it in inches squared. Get that answer there. Question 2. Nicholas has a pepper shaker in the shape of a cube. So again, we have a cube. Now, it says it has a side of 6 millimeters. So each side here is 6 millimeters. How much pepper will fit in the shaker? Now, the question is asking us, how much room is there in the pepper shaker? When we're talking about how much room or space something takes up, right? We're usually talking about volume, because this is a 3D shape. If it was a 2D shape, we're talking about area, but it's 3D shape, talking about volume. So we need to find the volume. So volume, I'm going to abbreviate that to V from now on. So V, volume, is equal to length times width times height. Now length and width and height are all the same. So it'll be 6 times 6 times 6. Work out the answer and they'll be in millimeters cubed. Okay. Next question. Ronaldo builds a pool in his backyard. The pool measures 50 meters long. No. So that's that one. So imagine this is his pool. It's 50 meters long and 20 meters wide. And it's 9 meters deep. 9 meters deep. All right. Now the question is, how much water will fit in the pool? If it's asking for water, how much water, we need to find the volume. So again, the volume is equal to length times width times height. So length times width times height. And that's going to equal to 20 times 50 times 9. And these are all in meters. So the answer is going to be what? 20 times 50 is 1,000. 1,000 times 9 is 9,000. 9,000 meter cube. Now they wanted to change it to liters. We want the answer in liters. Okay, so 1 meter cube is equal to 1,000 liters. So here you have 9,000 meters cube. So what would be, how many liters would that be? Can you work it out? Okay, next one. How many square meters of cardboard does Jessica need to make a rectangular prism with length of 60 centimeters, width of 90 centimeters, and a height of 40 centimeters? So you have some sort of a rectangle. It says a rectangular prism. Okay. And it looks like it's width of, so 90, width of 90, length of 60, and a height of 40. Okay, my drawing is not to scale, so don't rely on this to be an accurate drawing. Now, how many square meters of cardboard paper? Okay, so square meters, we're looking for the surface area. So to find the surface area of this rectangular prism, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of the front face. So I'm going to highlight that in blue. The front face is going to be the blue face there. Okay. So the front is going to equal to, what's the area of that one? This is a 40 here. Okay. Area is going to equal to length times width. So that's 40 times 60. Which is 4 times 6 is 24 with 2 zeros. Now I'm going to do the side face. Okay. The side face, what's the area of the side face? That's going to be 40 times 90, which equals to 4 times 9 is 36 with 2 zeros. And these are going to be in centimeters squared. Now I'm going to do the top face. How we do the top face? Well, we got 60 for the length and the width is 90. So 60 times 90. 6 times 9 is 54. 54 with 2 zeros, centimeters squared. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we have the front, the side, and the top. What we're going to do is we're going to add these numbers up. So we're going to have the total is going to be, let's see, 6 plus 4 is 10, 14, carry the 1, that's 3, 6, 6 plus 5 is 11. 11,400 centimeters squared. If you add those three. But guess what? We have to multiply by 2. So we have to multiply this by 2 because the front face and we haven't included the back face, the other side, the left side, and also the bottom one. And those are going to be the same as front, side, and top. So we only got half of the surface area. So to get the full one, we must multiply by 2. Okay. So the answer is going to be 00822. And that's the answer there. 22,800 centimeters squared. Okay. Next one, how much gift wrap is needed to cover a box with which measures 3 by 2 by 3. So imagine this is your box. This is 3 by 2 by 3. How much gift wrap? So we need to cover all of the faces. So basically it's asking what's the surface area of this? How much gift wrap is needed? Let's just find the surface area. So surface area, SA, is equal to, you're going to get the front face. Area of the front face, okay? So that's, okay, then plus the area of the side face, plus the area of the top face. Once you added all these up, you're going to multiply everything by 2. And that gives you the total surface area. Okay, you can do that on your own. I'm not going to do this question here. Let's go to the next page. Okay, composite areas. So composite areas is just the area of two shapes combined together. So in the first one, question A, you have a rectangle and a triangle that's combined together. So what's the area of the entire shape? Well, we just find the area of each piece and add it together. So let's call this A1 and call this A2. The area of the rectangle, A1. Rectangle. Okay, that's the rectangle there. So area is going to equal to 6 times 12. Length times width, which is 72. A2 is your triangle. And that's going to be, now we need to find the base and the height. We know that the height is going to be 12. Now, how do you find the base? You need to find the distance here. This is the base. Now, we know that the whole thing is 14. And from here to here is 6. So what's 14 minus 6? It's going to equal to 8. So that means that this distance here is 8. Okay. So I'll put 8 there. So the area of a triangle is going to equal to a half times base times height, which is equal to a half of the base, which is 8, times the height, which is 12. So what's a half of 8 times 12? 8 times 12 is 96. So we need to find a half of 96, which is 48. So the area of a triangle is going to equal to 48. Okay. Now the total area, so the total area is going to equal, I should put that down here. Total area is going to be equal to 72, area 1 plus area 2, which is plus with 48. Okay, and that's going to equal to 70 plus 50, 120. And because it's in the measurements in the centimeters, it'll be centimeters squared. Okay, next one. Now, this one you have to divide it yourself. They didn't divide the shapes for you, so we divided ourselves into a rectangle and a triangle. So we find the area of the rectangle. Let's call it A1 and area of triangle A2. Can you do this one by yourself? It's going to be exactly this. It's going to be not exactly the same, but it's going to be very similar to this. Find the area of the rectangle A1. What times what equals to what? Area A2. A2 is a triangle, so we need to do a half times base times height. What's the base? Well, let's find out where it's perpendicular. Which two lines are perpendicular? You got this line here and this line here. These are perpendicular, meet at 90 degrees. So therefore, these two can be base and height. Now, the length here will be 8. And the height, okay, so from here to here is 9, but from here to here is 5. So this distance from here to here must be 9 minus 5, which is 4. Okay, so this is 4. So that'll be a half times 8 times 4. Get the answer there. Get these two areas, add them up, and you will have your total area, which is the answer. Next one, question C. Okay, so we need to find the area. Let's call this A1 and A2. These are two triangles. So A1 is equal to a half times base times height. Base is the 7, height is the 10. So that'll be a half times 7 times 10 equals to what? And A2 is equal to a half times base times height, also a triangle. So that's a half of, what's the base? Okay, we can say the base can be 5. And the height will be 10. You got 5 and 10. Okay, so what's half of 5 times 10? What's half of 50? Get the answer there. A1 is a half of 7 times 10. What's half of 70? Get the answer there. And then you have to add these two areas up and get the total area. And that's your answer. So whatever it is, it's going to be in centimeters squared. All right. Next one is you got this weird shape here. Okay. Now if I cut it, I'm going to cut it into this rectangle, and this triangle. So instead of cutting it this way and getting 3 shapes, why not I pretend that this shape was filled up? Okay. So imagine if I have the area of this entire shape. What's the area of the entire shape? The area of the entire shape is 11 times 12. If you do 11 times 12, I get the area of this entire rectangle. Okay. So area is equal of the big rectangle is equal to 11 times 12. Okay. And then once you get the area of the big one, all we got to do is we got to minus this piece here that's being cut out. We need to find the area of this. So you get the area of the big thing, which I'll color in, actually I'll color in red. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Okay, and then we're going to minus the area of the blue piece here. So we know the area of the red piece, the big rectangle, is 11 times 12, which is 132. Now we need to minus the area of the blue triangle there. So area of the triangle cut out. Okay, so the area of the triangle cut out, let's find out what the how to find the area of this triangle that's missing. Okay, so we know that this is going to be this line, and this line is perpendicular, okay, because this is a rectangle and this must also be 90 degrees. So that means that this and this one can be the base and the height. So let's find out what the values are. So from here to here is 12, right? Because this is 12, so that's 12. But from here to here is 7, which means that this is also 12, by the way. But from here to here is 7. So 12 minus 7 is going to give you 5, which means that this distance here is 5. Now, this is 11, this one is 11, which means that this is going to be 11. But from here to here is already 5, so this one must be 6, because 11 minus 5 is 6, which means that this length here is 6. Okay. So the triangle, if I want to redraw the triangle for you, it's like this. You got 5, 6 right angle degrees, and you need to find the area of that triangle. So we're going to do area is equal to a half times base times height, which equals to a half times 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30, half of 30 is 15. 15 centimeters squared. Alright, so if you want to find the total area, you're going to have to take the area of the big rectangle minus the triangle cutout, the triangle that's been cut out from this big rectangle. So we're going to take 132 minus 15. It's minus 15. This will be 12, 7. This will be 2, 1. Okay, this will be 117. Okay, centimeters squared. Okay, I should actually let you done that one by yourself, but oh well. Next one. Okay, so to find the area of this, we need to find the area A1 and A2. Okay, let's look at A1. A1, you're going to find the area. Length times width. You can do that one by yourself. A2. A2 is a triangle, so we need to use the formula for the triangle. That's a half times base times height. What's the base and height? Well, the base is going to be this one here, which is 20 centimeters. It's equals to a half times 20 times the height. What's the height? Well, the height is going to be from that to the top of the triangle. That's the height of the triangle. Now this is also 90 degrees. How do we find that length there? Well, if you look at that length right now, if I move that length, that's there, right? If I move it down to here, you can see that from the top of the triangle all the way to the bottom of the base of the rectangle is 15. But we know that this is 9, which means that this is 9. So from here to here is 9. So 15 minus 9 will give us 6. So that means this remaining distance must be 6. So what does that mean? That means that the height of the triangle is 6. So we have the height of the triangle, which is 6. So that's we plug it back into the formula. And we have a half times 20 times 6. So that's equal to, what's 20 times 6? That's 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add the area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle there. And you get the answer. Okay, last page. All right, this is it looks like revision to me. We've done this a couple of times last week. You can do this one is 87.4 divided by 2. Okay, and it's going to be 40 something point something. So you can figure that out. Next one, 0.3 times 0.03. Okay. Again, we need to make this into whole numbers. So this will be a 3, this will be a 3. To turn a 0.3 to a 3, we must move decimal place to the right 1 time. And to turn a 0.03 to the 3 into a whole number, move decimal place to the right 2 times. So altogether, I move the decimal place to the right 3 times. Now let's do 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, where's the decimal place? Decimal place is after the 9, the last digit. All right, let's put in some zeros so we can see what's going to happen once we move decimal place back. Okay, now, decimal place used to be here, the blue dot, right? But because we moved the decimal place 3 times to the right, the answer, we must move the decimal place back 3 times to the left. So 1, 2, 3. So there's your answer. Then, so the decimal place is supposed to be there, so the answer is 0.009. Next one, you're going to add the decimals. So we got to add 9.2 plus the 4. The 4, remember, the 4 is a whole number, so it has to be in the same column as the 9. Okay, so 4.0 and 0.12. Okay, see how these ones don't have any numbers in this column, in the third column? Just put in some zeros. Add them up, get the answer. So make sure when you add them up that the decimal place is in the right column. It's all lined up. Okay, again, we're going to line the decimals up. 7.2, 0.04. Minus it. If you can't minus it, you can see that the top number, this one has nothing in there. Okay, if you're nothing in there, put a 0. Now minus it, get the answer. Fractions, adding and minusing fraction. If you want to add fractions, you must make the bottom number the same. So what number can be divided by 6 and 9? Now the trick to do these kinds of question is, okay, you look at the two numbers. You've got 6 and 9. Which number is larger? Obviously the 9, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to list all the multiples of 9. Okay, so 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. Just list a couple. And then see which one of these numbers can be divided by 6. Obviously, 18 is the first one and the smallest number that can be divided by 6 and by 9. I mean, 36 is also divided by 6 and 9, but we're not going to use 36. We want the smallest number. It's called the lowest common multiple. Okay. So we're going to use 18. 18 is the smallest one, easiest one to use. So forget the rest. All right, now we're going to change everything to 18 for the bottom numbers. So from 6 to 18, you must do what? You must multiply by 3 to the 6 to get 18. Then the top number must also be multiplied by 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. Now for the second fraction, from 9 to 18 are multiplied by 2, which means the top must also be multiplied by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, I've transformed these two fractions into this and now get the answer. Too easy, yeah? Same thing for here. Make the bottom number the same. I'm going to say, all right, look at the bigger number and the smaller number. All right, we're going to look at the big number and just list the multiples, okay? So 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77. Which number can we divide by 5? Obviously 55. So we're going to turn everything into 55. Okay. So you can, as you can see, from 11 to 55, I must multiply by 5. So top must be multiplied by 5, and the other one must be multiplied by 11, and top must be multiplied by 11. Get the two answers, minus it, and get the answer there. I won't go into detail for that one. Next one would be increase 8,200 by 4%. Okay, so 8,200. Oops. When you increase it, it means plus by 4%. So 4% of what? Of your 8,200. Now we need to know what number this represents. So 8,200 will be plus with that number. Okay, so we gotta work on this bracket side first. So 4%. Okay. 4%, let's change it into a fraction. 4 over 100. Any number, percentage into a fraction is just divided by 100 into the fraction there. Of means times, and 8,200 is a whole number, so it must be over 1. Now we can cross out the zeros, so 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom. And what we have left is 4 times 82. 4 times 82, let me see what that is. 4 times 82, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 32. So that will give you 328 over 1 times 1 is 1. So 328 divided by 1 is just 328. So to find it, you're going to find the answer, you're going to take 8,200 plus 328. Get the answer there. Find the amount if 60% is 30. Okay, so if 60% is going to give you, is going to be 30, we want to find the whole amount. That means you need to get to 100%. What's the 100% of the amount? Okay, so from 60 to 100, that's too hard to do. So how about we go from 60 to 10%? And what did we do from 60 to 10? We divided by 6, which means we do what? We divided by 6 as well. So 30 divided by 6 will be 5. So then from 10% to 100%, that's times it by 10, which means you times it by 10. Get the answer there. Next question 9. How many years in 4 scores and 3 years? 1 score, again, is equal to 20 years. So you find out what 4 scores is, and then another 3 more years is. You can do that. Change 76% into a simple fraction. So let's turn it into a normal fraction. It'll be 76 over 100. Simplify it and get the answer for the simple fraction. Change 7 over 9 into a percentage. Okay, so let's first to change 7 over 9. This is a fraction. 7 over 9. To change it into a percentage, before we can do that, we need to change it into a decimal. Now, to change 7 over 9 to a decimal, you take 7 divided by 9. Now, normally we can't divide it like this, so let's put in some decimals. See what happens. So 7 divided by 9 is 0. You can't do it. Okay, and then we can have, we know that it's going to be 0 point something. So 0 point, let's see. Now, what's 70 divided by 9? 70 divided by 9 is 7. 9 times 7 is 63. Minus, and you get 7. 70 minus 63 is 7. Bring the next number down. 70 again. 70 divided by 9 is also 7 again. And then 7 times 9 is again 63. So we keep minusing, and you notice that we keep getting 70 divided by 9. So it keeps saying 0 0.7, 0 0.7, whatever. So the answer for decimal is 0.7777. If you want to change it to percentage, all you got to do is times it by 100 to get to percentage. When you multiply 0.7777 times it by 100, the decimal place will move to the right 2 times. 1, 2. So the answer is 77.77%. Okay. Now it says to the nearest percentage. So round this to the nearest percentage. You can do that on your own. Next question 12. You want to add these two? Okay, no problem. Add the 3, add the 2. So let's look at the whole numbers first. 3 plus 2 equals to 5. Now let's look at the fractions. You got 1 over 4 plus 1 over 11. Okay. We know how to add fractions now, I think, at this point. Must make the bottom number the same, okay? So get the answer. Whatever your answer is, add it to 5 because we got 5 whole numbers. So let's say, I'm not saying the answer is going to be this, but let's say it was 3/4, okay? Let's say the answer was 3/4 when you add the fractions. So the answer will be 5 3/4. You combine the whole number with the fraction, okay? But it's not really 3/4. So whatever it is, combine it with the whole number and get the answer there. Next one, to multiply. We cannot multiply mixed numerals with just a normal fraction. You need to change this one to improper fraction. So to change it from mixed numeral to improper, take the big number, multiply by the bottom number there. So 1 times 6 is 6, and then we're going to add with the top number. So we're going to say 1 times 6 is 6, and then you're going to add with the top number 1, which is 7 over whatever the fraction is there. This fraction happened to be this 6. So this will be 7 over 6. That's the improper fraction there. And then you're going to multiply by 5 over 8. So you can do that on your own. Again, question 14. You need to change this one to improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8. And then plus 1 is 9. So 9 over 2 divided by 2 on 3. Now, this is division of fraction, which means this one, when you divide, you must flip the second one upside down. So it'll be 9 on 2, and this will be 3 on 2. And then change the divide into a times. And then you can work that out. All right, that's the end. Hope that helps.